Alright gang, welcome back to our Island Preservation Challenge here on Ronida Island. It is March, and a very rainy March at that. Welcome back. Hope you're all doing well. First thing we want to do today is take some of the straw here out of the silage stick and bring it over to the cows. They are out of straw, so we want to make sure we fill those pins up there. Well, I guess it's not really a pin, but whatever. We fill the bedding up for the straw there so we can continue to make some manure. So let's grab some of that out of here. Oop, a little bit too far. There we go. Today, we don't have anything specifically to do that's involving any of the fields that we currently own at this current time. But we do have some things we want to do with this field up here that has not been touched yet. First and foremost, I want to mow it. We're going to buy a mower today, maybe a windrow or two, likely a windrow or two, and then we'll kind of take care of that with our forage wagon over there. Obviously, we're going to need to make an upgrade to that at some point in the future soon as well, among numerous other things that I've mentioned over the last few episodes that we need to make upgrades to. But we're kind of waiting for at least another month or two before we sell all the clothes. We've got a lot of clothes over there. There's a lot of clothes. It's very exciting. We've got some more wool to move over there as well from the sheep themselves. So we'll do that today too. And yeah, we'll see how things go. But more so than anything, we need to get the grass mowed because we are out of grass in the silage stick. And that also means we are not making any more TMR. Well, to be fair, we have TMR in there that we need to unload, and we're going to do that right now too. But we don't have any more that can be sent to the TMR mixing station. It is pretty much maxed out with the exception there of the silage and the mineral feed. But yeah, nonetheless, we don't have anything else to send there, right? So we need to get some grass so we can actually turn that in to some silage and send that over here so we can keep that TMR going. Because the cows are chewing through it quickly now. They are getting ready to reproduce, actually. And the teenagers are getting ready to become adults. So they'll be on the path as well to becoming, able to reproduce. So the cows are going to start to become a big factor here for us. It's a good factor. It's things we need. But we just need to make sure that we're able to continue to produce enough to be able to feed them. And at current, we have enough to keep them up and afloat. But if we don't get that grass mowed today, we're going to be in a big problem. So that's going to be our main focus today, and our main goal is to mow that other field that plot of land we purchased. It's just going to be weeded grass for the time being. And then we can kind of plow it up, and probably we're going to put grass in there for the time being. I was kind of talking about that, eventually we're going to combine, or, well, expand, I guess I should say. Let me give you the map. This is going to be better. Eventually, I'm going to expand this first coastal cotton field right here over top of the 72. Eventually, we're going to drag this up here and kind of go up into this field, right? But for the time being, this is early on stages of growing, so we're just going to go ahead and turn this into a grass field, and we'll actually make it a true grass field, so it's not just weeded grass. So we'll get a little bit of a better yield out of that as well. And then we'll keep it at that until it's time to expand that cotton field up into that point. Now, if you noticed quickly when I was just showing you the map there, you might have noticed it rather, both these fields are going to be ready to harvest in the next episode, which is great for us. We don't really have a whole lot of straw left. We have some straw. Obviously, I just brought some over here, but we don't have tons, right? So it'll be nice to be able to mow this big, massive wheat field, and then we have the big, massive cotton field as well, which will be good, right? That cotton field is going to help us tremendously leading up here to the big sell day, right, which is coming fast and furious here. It's going to be April, May, and next month will be April. So, we'll probably sell whatever we have in April next month as long as the price is decent, and then we'll sell the remaining of whatever's there in May, right? So, pretty big day for us, honestly, coming up here soon. So, now, at the time of this recording, it's a couple days before, obviously, this is being released, but when this is going to be released to you, I will be leaving in about 2 days for a trip down south with the nieces, with my wife's other side of her family. It's not really one I'm honestly looking forward to all that much. I think it'll be okay, kind of fun, but where we're going, I mean, I think it's pretty obvious where we're going when I say nieces, right? But, they're really excited about it, so it'll be fun to see them being excited about it, but it's not really my favorite place in the world to go. But anyway, we'll be doing that, so I'll be gone for about a week, really. It's technically less than that, but travel and stuff, it'll be about a week. Hopefully, there won't be any days off. If there is a day off for whatever reason, it's probably going to be one. I will let you know if there is. I don't anticipate there to be any kind of days off. But if for whatever reason I can't get all of them done in time, whether it's from work or other life events that occur, I will let you know, as I always do. Right now, I don't anticipate that happening. But like I said, if it does happen, I will certainly let you know. All right, so I think that's the last bit of TMR that's in here. Well, actually, I don't think we're going to be able to get all of it in the trailer here, but we'll get this last load here, and we'll drop that off. We'll leave the rest in there for the time being. We'll let that continue to process here. It's going to process for a little bit longer. It's got silage and hay and straw in there, so it should be fine for quite a while, honestly. And the cows themselves now should have plenty of TMR. They get 54,000 right now. So yeah, they should be quite okay. Look at our teenage cows growing up. Look at them. So when we get that money here coming up from all the clothes we're going to sell, really the first thing we're going to do is try to honestly do the sheep, move the sheep. I said I was going to move the sheep. That's the plan. Still is the plan. We're going to move the sheep over here to the area near where the cows are. It's actually going to be over there behind the TMR mixer. Speaking of that, you can see it in the distance. I do have the stone collector there primed and ready to go. We will be utilizing that here very, very soon. In other words, we were going to, and when I say using it, I don't mean it as using it on the field. We are going to be taking that up to the store and selling it. We do not need it anymore. We have turned stones off. We do need to do some work in regard to making the stones into, you know, whatever cement or whatever we need to make it into. That hasn't happened yet. It will happen soon enough, but it has not happened yet. But we don't need it anymore. We've got plenty of stones. There's tons and tons and tons of stones over here. Tons and tons and tons. So we've got probably more, well more than we need over here. So I'm not really too concerned about that anymore. So I have turned them off. Now, if for some reason I'm completely wrong by that statement, which I don't think I am, but if for some reason I'm wrong, you know, we'll pivot at that point and turn the stones back on, and we'll keep going. I don't plan to remove that stone pit over there. I'm going to kind of leave it there probably for the entirety of the series, and whatever's not utilized will just kind of be there and utilize it as a bit of a themed type of you know, setting, right? It's just going to be taking up space. I get that, but I can't do anything with the stones anyway. I can't go sell them. It's part of the rules, so we'll just kind of let them hang out in there, right? Just be part of the series itself, so... So let's head up here. We're almost here already, but let's head up here. Let's sell this, and then we're going to buy a mower and likely a windrower. All right, let's sell this thing. I don't remember how much we're getting back for it. I didn't look before I started the episode here. Oh, I guess I went too far. Let's back it up a little bit. No vehicles available. What? What am I doing here? I'm in the zone. It's because it's attached? It doesn't make sense. No vehicles available. Hey? Does this happen to anyone else that's running this series? Okay. Oh, that was very weird. I guess I wasn't close enough, which seems super weird, but whatever. So we are going to repaint this and repair it, because obviously we're going to sell it, so we want to get as much money out of it as we can. Ends up being that we're going to get 30 grand out of that. That's pretty good. That's pretty good, right? So we'll sell that, get the 30 grand. I'm going to repair the tractor while we're up here. So that puts us up to 62,000, which is a really, really good spot to be in. That means we're going to be able to do a lot of what I was hoping to do, honestly, with this money. You know, realistically, we'd like to do some other things, but we need to get the grass going. And, you know, I don't want to buy anything tiny, right? I want to be able to do something so I can actually do this job relatively quickly. And to do that, we really are going to need, you know, a little bit of money to do so, right? So just taking a peek at some of the stuff here. So 46.5 for the back ones here, which I would like to have, honestly. There are these, which is 35, which is a little bit cheaper, 8.3. That's 10 meters, so that's a much wider width here for these, though. Can go with the Colossus mower. There is the unrealistic version, of course. I'm not really wanting to specifically do that, if I can help it. 2.7 meters. What is this? 3.6. I mean, they're nice, but that's not really what we're looking for, right? That's not wide enough, really, in my opinion. So, okay, so let's just think this through here for a minute. All right, so 46, and I could go with something that's not the front cloth here, because the front cloth is relatively expensive, right? 22,000 is expensive when I can get one for 13 or 14,000, right? Or even 5,000, I guess. Does it have? It does have the working speed of like a smaller working speed. 15 mile per hour is still pretty fast, though. That's still pretty fast. Because I would think the working speed on this is going to be more like 6 or 7, right? Now, to be fair, this series is going to get quite large quickly, so it might be in our best interest to have something that's a little bit faster. But, again, I don't really want these unrealistic approaches. I guess the only difference here is this is going 15 mile per hour versus going like 7 or 8 mile per hour. The actual working width is standard, right? But if I buy this, let me just hear me out for a minute. If I buy this, but then I buy this, I would think it's going to keep me to the slower pace that this wide one can go, right? But here's the problem. All right, here's the problem. If I do all this, realistically, if I do all of this, that is going to take up all of our money, which means I can't buy a windrower then, right? And honestly, I'd like a windrower for this. Maybe I could do the manual windrower. It'd be a little annoying, but I guess I could do the manual. Don't actually have that many windrowers, surprisingly enough. Okay. I could go this approach. I could also lease, right? We could lease. How much is it to lease this big boy? Oh, gosh, we're not doing that. That is way too expensive. Holy smokes. So if I lease this, it's 1,147. If I lease this, it's 2,371. Maybe that's the way to go. Maybe we just lease this. I feel like you'd want to put it into a swath. Yeah, see, that just doesn't do it for me. I think that's just too unrealistic right now, so I'm not going to focus on that. Okay, so I guess we'll lease, because I don't really know what else to do. So I guess we'll just lease this. I think that's just the better approach here. So I want to go with the what is this, the night edition? What's the difference between that and this one? Well, it's just more expensive. And it doesn't really do anything. It just changes the colors and makes it darker. Well, I mean, we're just leasing it, so why would I spend the effort on that, or why would I spend the money on that, right? Okay, we've got them leased. Let's go and take this and get the mowing underway here. Ooh, this one doesn't have the ability to do a front attachment. I forgot about that. Okay, I gotta go get the John Deere. Okay, I went ahead and did a service to the tractor too as well. I'm gonna go ahead and fill up the gas while we're at it too, because why not? We're here. I should have probably did it to the white Agro or Agco or whatever the heck it's called, but that's all right. Hopefully this has enough power to do this, actually. I didn't even look at that. I should have, probably. I just assumed that was a mistake, probably. But we'll see. I guess we'll find out. Okay, so what's some new things I can talk about? The shop should have a brand new shirt that is going to be released this coming week. Those of you that are members should already have access to it, as long as everything worked properly, and if it didn't, I would let you know that by now. But you should have access to a new shirt if you're a member, and if you're not, you'll get access to that new shirt here coming this week. Very excited about it. I think it looks really good, and hopefully that interests you. If not, then don't worry about it. The new competitive series that's coming soon with Crustu, Rusty Money Gaming, and Blue Roses in the works. We're already in the process of testing things out. getting server up and running, trying to make sure everything's working properly, all that good stuff. So that's already underway in regard to getting the setup and making sure everything's, you know, where we want it to be. That's already started. So, like I said, you're looking at probably about a month and a half from now before that series starts, which seems like a long time, but really that is not that long. We are going to be, that's going to be here before you know it. It really is. That is going to be here before you know it. So that's a bit exciting, right? That's going to be a lot of fun. Having something new coming along, and then a 4-person competitive series. We'll see how this plays out. I'm going to spend some time myself trying to make sure that I do the best I can to have a really good start. I feel like I had a really good start in the initial one. I mentioned that a couple of times by now. But I did make some differences there, or I made some mistakes, I guess is how we'll put it, there at the end. We're going to make sure we try not to do that this time, or try not to replicate that this time, if at all possible. Alright, so we're going to use the map here, because I just really, I don't know where the end is of this. So let me turn the beacons off. Unfold it. It's down. Lower that. And we're underway. We are struggling, but we are underway. And there is a bit of a hill here. Now, a lot of this is flat, but the area I'm in right now, it's a bit of a hill. So this portion here is probably going to be a bit of a struggle. Now, it doesn't have to be perfect. I don't have to get super close here. But as long as I get most of it, then I'm going to be pretty happy. Now, realistically, I want to mow this entire field. I know that sounds crazy today, but I do. I want to mow this entire field today. One, we don't have much else to do today besides a couple of the maintenance type of stuff I talked about, right? Moving the cotton over, move some eggs around so the eggs can continue to, you know, to spawn, things like that, right? But those are minor things that really I don't necessarily need to do on camera with you. I can do those off camera. But if the time permits, we'll do them today. But realistically, I want to get this entire field mowed. Now, this entire field, realistically, I'm going to turn into another grass field, like I mentioned, right? That's going to be the goal, is we're going to turn this into a grass field. Now, to be fully transparent with you, I'm not sure if we'll mow the entire grass field every single time. In other words, I'm not sure we'll mow the entire thing. We may just mow parts of it, or maybe we mow the whole thing. Who knows? That hasn't been decided yet, but I do want to get this entire field mowed today, which is the reason why we went with the approach we're doing here, and we leased this. This is the first time we've leased something in a very, very long time. It's always a series that I kind of forget that we actually have the access to lease in. I know that sounds crazy to say that, but I'm always trying to just own something instead of leasing it. I'm used to not always having the restriction that leasing is not possible. It is possible in this series, and so we're going to utilize it to our advantage here, at least initially, since we don't really have as much money as we want to get the mowing set up that we want to get, right? Now, you could argue that the amount of money I just spent on this mower and then we're returning it and then buying one again later, we're wasting. You're right. We're wasting. You're 100% correct. We are. But, you know, this is something we need, right? We need it for the cows, specifically. Soon enough, we're going to need it for the sheep as well, right? So, I'm not too concerned with the fact of wasting whatever it was, $3,000, $4,000, whatever it is. When we sell this clothes, we're going to make a killing, right? Because I could have sold those clothes earlier for a loss, but since we're not doing that, I'm not really concerned about a $3,000, $4,000 loss here just to go ahead and get this grass field, this extra section, this new section underway, right? I'm not too concerned about that. Okay, the first outline here is done, so we just kind of have to go around the inside here now. I'm not even going to worry about lifting up any of the mowers or anything like that. It's not even really worth my time, I don't think, to even focus on doing that, so I'm not going to. And like you could see clearly, most of that area down there is all flat. It's just this little section up here that's going to be a bit of a struggle for us, and I think it would be less of a struggle if we didn't have to utilize the John Deere. Mistake on me, not thinking about the AGCO not being able to have a front mower on it, completely forgetting about that. And it's not just because it has a weight on it. There's no option to do a 3-point hitch on the front, so can't be done even if I wanted to. So Now what I'm going to do here, which is a little bit against the grain of what you would normally do, is I'm going to do 2 partial headland passes here. And what I mean by that more specifically than anything is I'm going to go on these ends here, 2 headland passes, so then I have enough room to turn around and I don't have to pick up the mower. I just want to try to be as efficient as I can, even though it's not that realistic. I want it to be as efficient as I can here. So we're going to do the headland pass here, and then really a headland pass down there. And then we'll start doing our more traditional up and downs, if you will. Now, I think I might have the option here with this, and I didn't look at it to see. Work mode, swath dropping. Yes, I've kind of screwed up there on the end. I probably didn't even need a windrower if I would have done the swath dropping. But it's not really seeming to work all that great now that I look at it. I mean, it's kind of doing it, but I don't know. It's not really doing exactly what I was hoping for. But maybe it'll fix itself when I reset here. Because if we can get the swath drop with this and not have to buy a windrower, then, you know, that's going to save us time too, or at least a windrower. I don't know if I would buy it or lease it. I don't really know which one I would go with at this point, but we'll turn the swath on again. And so there you go. It's going to have 3 kind of swaths here, but it really doesn't look like it's doing much of anything, honestly. It looks like it's pretty much doing the same thing it was doing before. Maybe just slightly more of a swath than where it was. So we might just get away with not buying a windrower at this point. I think it's probably smart for us to consider not buying one. Might take us a little bit longer, but I mean, you have to do the windrower in anyway, right? So that's going to take a while too. So what else? Yeah, so the Triple Threat Challenge going well. We're starting to really make progress there. If you haven't tuned into that for a while, I recommend you do recently. Bit of a spoiler. We did finally buy the oil mill that is required for part of Threat 1, so that is accomplished. We still have some fields we need to purchase, but that is a big step there, a big milestone. That's going to mean we're going to make a lot of money. We put some canola in there now, so we're going to get canola oil out of that, which means we're going to get more money when it comes time to sell that. So that's going to be great for us. The Nutty Brewer ran into some issues there, for sure. Multiple issues along the way, things that I was not anticipating running into. We've pivoted pretty well, I think, and that series is really starting to take shape as well. We're very close there to that series being hitting its peak, and then it's time to start, you know, dropping it down. We've already spoiler again, but we've already kind of started the tours. Imagination, use your imagination. The tours, and we opened up. Recently, we opened up a farm shop, which is going to be extremely helpful for us. So, a little bit of passive income is going to be happening in that series now, which is not something that happens a whole lot in most of the series that I do, but we are doing it here in this instance. So, it's going to be nice to have that. It's not going to be anything crazy, but a little bit of extra passive income will go a long way, right? It's going to go a long way. So, yeah. Those are the 3 main ones running right now. The Can You Survive 25 series. I know a lot of people actually do enjoy that series. There's a lot of people that were watching that series, and I put it on a bit of a brief hiatus, so I apologize for those of you that really were tuning into that series. It'll be back soon. I promise it'll be back soon. I'm probably going to do a spur-of-the-moment one-off episode for that series here soon. Not sure what day yet, but probably just going to do one just to kind of spice it up and bring that back for a minute. But then it's still going to be on it's still technically, and it's still going to be on a hiatus for a little while. It likely will not be back until either the Triple Threat Challenge or the Island Preservation, what we're running right now, it finishes. Until one of those finishes, it likely won't be back until then. And I'm going to be honest with you, that series is, like I said before, it's a series that's going to run for the entirety of FS25, right? So there are going to be multiple breaks that are going to happen throughout the time period, right? I enjoy that series. I love that series. I have a lot of fun with that series, but other ideas are going to take place that I'm going to want to put in front of that, right? Because it is just such a long-running series, right? And I feel like that's perfectly justified and okay to do. So, yeah, there will be periods of time where that's going to happen. It'll be back for a little while, then it'll take a break again, then we'll be back for a little while and take a break again, right? Now, to be fair, which I don't expect them to do so, but unless we get surprised, and all of a sudden, we now have FS, I don't know what would be, FS 27, I guess, that pops up here, right? Unless that happens, which I don't think it's going to, but unless that happens, then we'll pivot and we'll make sure we get all the things that we need to accomplish in that series done. We've really pretty much accomplished most of the things we need to do. The only thing we really haven't done is the third farm yet, right? But that's going to be the focus when we, kind of start it back up again, is getting that third farm up and running. So we've bought a few things for the third farm already, but we don't really have any land for it. We don't have anything really producing there yet, but the other two farms are very, very successful at this point. We do have a few other minor things I think we need to do on Farm 2 to really check off all the boxes of the, the actual objectives and the goals that have to be done. Like you have to have a house and so many silos and so many sheds and et cetera, right? There's still a few of those things I think we have to do. More specifically, we don't have a house yet, I don't think, but they're not things that are going to, take a whole episode or anything like that to do, right? So it'll happen when it happens. Been dealing with, I don't know if anyone else has this. I don't really know how else to describe it. It just feels, it's not, I'm old, it's not. But it feels like growing pains in like one of your legs. Like that's the feeling that it feels like, and it's just one leg. Google says it's either low potassium or it's I'm dehydrated, or I've basically it's like a strained or a pulled muscle of some sort. It's what Google says. It's probably the latter, right? It's probably the latter. But I've been dealing with it for the last couple of days, man. It's been brutal, man. I haven't been able to sleep at all. It's been killing me. But I took I can't tell you last time I took a bath, but I took a bath last night. And it did seem to help a little bit. Google said that is one way you can help, breach the inflammation, is to take a bath there, a warm water bath, and just massage. And for me, it's like my thigh is where it is. I've had this happen to me before in the past. It lasts for a handful of days or less, and then it goes away. The other time it happened, it was like in my calf. It was brutal. I felt like it was a Charlie horse for 5 days in a row. That one was awful. This one, it hurts, but it's not like that, luckily. But it's weird to me. I don't think it would be low potassium because, I eat what I think is a decent amount of potassium. So in my eyes, I think it's just a strained muscle or a pulled muscle of some sort. I've also, small bit of bragging about myself. I stopped drinking pop for the last week. I haven't had a pop in a week, so that's good for me. Trying to be better about that. Haven't had any caffeine for a week, so I did this a long time ago, and I went almost 3 years without it, and then I got back on the wheel there, I guess, or however you want to call it, however you want to word it. But I think it's time for me to get back off of it again, so just cold turkeyed it. Nothing, just cold turkey. Pop or soda pop, wherever you're from. You get the point. Coke, depends on where you're from. Okay, we're almost done, actually. This has gone a little bit faster than I thought it was going to go, which has been great. Now, I'm going to be returning the lease here as soon as we're done. I'm not going to hold on to it any longer, even though I probably could. I'm not going to hold on to it. My intention and my goal really is to buy a mower setup once we get some more money in the bank account. Now, realistically, I guess what I could have done in this instance is I could have bought part of this mower setup and then just leased the other one. That might have been the smarter way to go, but too late now. Now, the amount of grass we're going to get out of this, it should hold us over for a while. It should. It should hold us over for a while. But again, my intention here, my goal here is to get this mowed, get it all picked up, drop it into the silage stick, so that way we can kind of keep the TMR going there. I probably need to take a peek, actually. A quick autosave here, but I probably need to take a peek at the sheep, too. I know we're going to move them soon, but we can't let them run out, and they have run out of grass. They are not reproducing at all right now, unfortunately, because I think they ran out of food. They do have meadow grass, though, so I'm not really quite sure why they're not reproducing. They should be able to. So I guess we should probably drop a little bit of this grass in there for them as well, right? Now, our forage wagon that we have is not the largest forage wagon in the world. To be fair, it's not a large forage wagon at all. So, it is going to take some time to get this grass up. Now, what could potentially happen here is if we, for whatever reason, I mean, I don't hope it doesn't, but for whatever reason, if it takes us much longer than I'm anticipating it taking, and we've gone well past the time period that I want to kind of keep and manage here for an episode, we can always do the rest of picking up this grass in the next episode, whether that's in the same month of March or whether we jump to the next month. It's not really going to make a big difference. It's just weeded grass. Doesn't really matter. The only difference here, and the only reason why I'm saying I'd want to get it done today is, well, quite frankly, we already talked about it, right? These two fields down here, we know for a fact they're going to be ready to harvest next month. That's going to keep us really busy, right? Really, really busy. So, ideally, we get this whole field done today. Missed a bit here. I'm going to back up a little bit. All right, there we go. All right, so we got to get the rest of this done. We got one more little strip here. And, yeah, this field is all mowed, and then it's just a matter of us getting it up. And whether we want to utilize a windrower or not, still a decision that I'm kind of back and forth on. As a matter of fact, let's get around to the other end here, and I'm going to look up the windrowers one more time. I'm just going to see, because I think even if we don't utilize it, even if we don't need to utilize it right now, and it's not really maybe necessarily needed right now, eventually I think we're going to need it, right? We're going to have large fields. Eventually we're going to need it. I'm going to want it. The only way we could get around that is if we bought, obviously, something that would, you know, put everything into a windrow approach, which this is supposedly supposed to be doing, but to me, it's not really doing what I was expecting. I would expect all of it to be in one big windrow right behind the tractor, and it's not really doing that, as you can clearly tell, right? Now, maybe I did something wrong. I very well could have. I'm probably sure somebody probably is already yelling at me in the comments about doing something wrong. And maybe that's what it was. Maybe I just did do something wrong. But anyway, I still don't think it's going to hurt to have the windrower. I really don't. So we can turn this in, turn these mowers in, rather. Return them. However you want to word it. So let's do that. Okay, returned. Done. Alright, so we need to either go the forage wagon route, like I said, or go the windrower route. I'm leaning towards that windrower route. I'm going to look again. We're going to take a peek. Do a little brief looking here. You know, something like this, I use this a lot. Like, a lot. But it is such a fantastic windrower. It's not expensive. Right? 8 meters, 8.4 meters. And this is significantly cheaper, and it's only a 0.4 meter difference. Now, I was kind of thinking about, bit of a spoiler, but I was kind of thinking about, ooh, it has used decals, huh? Oh, interesting. I was kind of thinking about utilizing this in the Triple Thread Challenge. So because of that reason, I'm going to say no to it. As much as I want it, I'm going to say no to it. So we will go with this one. Very standard one we use all the time. I could lease it, of course, but I'm going to buy it in this instance. We're going to grab the Atco and go pick that up, and then we'll windrower that up, and then obviously we got to pick all the grass up and, you know, get underway doing all that. So you kind of know what we got to do. Well, let's get into it. stop the time lapse there. I made a mistake, guys. This is not good enough. This is taking a long time. I thought this was going to be plenty. And realistically, if we were to do this in halves, it probably would be plenty. But since I'm doing such a massive field here, this is taking an absolute eternity. I'm fine with it taking an absolute eternity, but is the episode fine with it taking an absolute eternity? No, it's not. Not at least where I want to keep the timeline at. So, yeah, this is going to take a while, gang. So I might have to do some of this off camera. Not that that really probably bothers any of you, but I might have to do some of this off camera. And I also may be considering getting rid of this as soon as we're done with it this first time. And waste some money there, too. Go figure. But, you know, it is what it is. I can't do anything about it now. I've already bought it. It's mine for the time being. Man, we got a long way to go still. But honestly, by the time I would actually head back up to the shop, sell this, and you know, lease something or buy something else and bring it back down here, I mean, we'd almost probably be done by then, right? So at this point, I think I might as well just kind of stick it out and keep working through it. And yeah, we'll see how it goes here. But I think I'm going to do. I think I'm going to do maybe a jump cut here versus going back into a time lapse. Because I rambled for a long time already. We're already over 30 minutes easily, if not 40 minutes by the time I go into the edit. Maybe a little less, but right around that I think is where we're at. So, and we still have some things to do, right? We've got to get all this grass picked up. And I can't put a worker on doing this because it's not actually considered a field, right? So I have to do this by hand, which is fine. I enjoy doing it. It doesn't bother me. But we're just running out of time for the episode, so. And I don't necessarily want to do another episode today in March. I don't want to do a second episode in March, right? So, yeah, I think I'll just jump cut here, gang. I will be back with you when we're close to being done. Okay, it's all done, gang. I went back and touched up a tiny bit there. There's going to be some that's definitely needs more touching up. You can see some here on the ends that are not the perfect. It's not the best, but that's all right. Yeah, so I don't know what I'm going to do with this one. Like I said, I'm probably going to end up getting rid of it, unfortunately. But we'll hold on to it for the time being. I'm not even exactly sure where we'll put this. I guess it'll fit in the large one down there. As a matter of fact, I'm pretty positive it will. I'm going to place it right... Actually, you know what? No, I'm not. We're going to take it over there. Never mind. For some reason, I thought the forge wagon was in this shed. It's not. It's in that one down there. I don't know why I thought that, but I did. Yeah, this should fit in this big shed down here. This should fit. No problem. So for the time being, we'll hold on to it. And then, like I said, more than likely going to get rid of it for a larger one. Especially if we keep the size of the mowing we're doing to the size we just did, right? If we go to a smaller path, then maybe we don't. But I expect us to be on that size or larger, honestly, given the fact that we've got 2 animals we're running right now that require heavy grass involvement, right? So... All right, so let's get this underway. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. I think we're going to have to go with Plan B here. I don't see a situation where we get this whole field done today. I just don't. We're already much further along in the episode than I actually anticipated us to be, which it's fine, but I just thought we would be a lot further along. We're not as far along. I don't think I worded that right. We're not as far along in this episode as I had initially planned that we would be. And that's fine, right? It's fine. It's like I said, we can go with Plan B where we don't get this whole field done today. We do the rest of it in the next episode, and we utilize some workers to help us out. We're definitely going to be doing that, and then we can hopefully get this field plowed up in the next episode as well and get the grass going in the ground, right? That will be very helpful if we can do that. I expect the next episode again to be very heavy on doing those harvests, getting the rest of this grass all picked up. and it's some of it is not as bad as actually that I think it is, because they've got some of that weird texture on the ground where you can't pick it up. But yeah, anyway, the goal is to get that cotton field harvested in the next episode, get that wheat field harvested, and get the rest of this grass up, and get this field plowed up, or get this entire weeded up grass field plowed up and turned into a real grass field, right? That's the next main goal here. We'll see how much we can get of this up here today for the remainder of this episode. Quick save here. Now let's just take a peek here at the market here. Like I said, clothes are hot commodity for us here coming up soon, and it's going to be really next month. Yeah, next month. So that's going to be huge. Next month, big money incoming. We actually have, it's actually a decent price right now for that matter. We could sell it today if we really wanted to. I'm not going to, but we could. 18,369 is not a bad, well, I said the palletizer, so never mind. Yeah, 17,519. It's a good price still. It's still a good price, but that's not a price we want right now. We want that extra $2,000 off of each pallet. And just to give you a ballpark idea of truly how much we have in there, I need to turn that off. There's a lot, right? 12,000 liters in this one and 5,000 liters in this one, and it's still chewing through the rule, actually, so. Surprised how slow that's chewing through that wool, but it is still chewing through it, so never mind. Nonetheless, it's still going through it. All right, this is full. So, let's take this, and we're going to drop this portion, at least some of this off. I say I'm going to drop about 10,000 liters off into the sheep pen here. Like I said, my intention here is to move the sheep very, very quickly once we get that money. Probably not next month, but probably the following month we will be moving the sheep. So I think 10,000 liters of grass is more than sufficient for 2 months. Probably could do a little less than that. Maybe I'll go for 8,000. But you get the point. We're not going to put a ton in here. There's just not really a reason to do so. All right, we're gonna stop it there. I'm gonna say that's probably enough. So we're gonna stop it there. We are almost full on the wool over here. I think what I'm going to do, and I'm just going to tell you this off camera, I will probably move that wool over, because that should potentially give us more pallets of clothes for next month too, right? Which is going to be good. That's going to be a lot of money we're going to make off of this. It's a lot of money incoming for us. A lot of money. I'm very excited about that. Okay, so let's go ahead and turn on the silage here. I don't have any silage additive in here, but that's fine. We don't necessarily need it. I'm going to turn that on. And we're full. So we can go ahead and get this started. That way we can make sure the TMR continues, and we can make sure that we continue to have food for the cows, because that is another very crucial, important piece for us. They're going to be the only way we're going to be able to get these fields at 100% fertilization, right? Next month is also going to be very exciting because of the wheat that we're going to be harvesting, right? We're going to be filling that up with both of these pens with chickens, which means we can buy more chickens for the newest pen addition we added, right? Which means more eggs, which is a good thing. If we have any flour left over, which I'm not sure if we will, honestly, the first pass here, but I would expect the second pass we will, we can start, planning out to do some kind of a flour, right? To do flour and turn the eggs and the flour into something else, right? Some kind of bakery item. So, with all of that said, gang, I'm actually going to leave the episode at this point. We are really, really far along. We're over an hour easily here. Before the edits, we're over an hour. So, I like to keep my episodes around 30 to 45 minutes. I've said that many times before. Not specifically a main reason why I don't go longer than that. It's just YouTube tells me that's the best time to do. So I do the best I can to try to follow YouTube's guidelines, because I don't know this for sure, but I feel like it helps with them getting the videos out through the algorithm more and getting it, broadcasted to more people, right? So I try to keep them around that. I think this one's going to be much longer than that, but that's okay. We can have one of those every once in a while that are much longer, right? Hopefully you enjoyed. I know some of you do like the longer episodes, so there you go. You're getting one today. Next episode, like I mentioned, very busy. Both those harvests. We want to get the rest of this grass up off this field. We want to get this field plowed up so we can actually turn it into a legitimate field that can help be utilized by workers if need be, and likely will need be, right? So, yeah, we'll leave it at that. Thanks for watching, gang. I appreciate each and every single one of you for doing so. If you haven't done so already, hit the like and subscribe button for me. Thanks to my members for all of their continued support. As always, I can never thank them enough for everything that they continue to do in regard to helping me and the channel out. It really does help motivate me to keep going. If you want early access to videos like this one, there is a link down below where you can consider becoming a member. Check out the second channel. Check out the Discord. Check out the shop. Like I said, new shirt coming very, very soon. Keep on a lookout for that. I will make a post about it when it does release to everyone. Yeah, I think that's all I got. Thanks for watching as always. We'll see you next time.